Look at yourself. Now look at me. Now back to yourself. Now back to me. Sadly, you aren't me. But if you stop being an amateur musician and started using direct music connection, you could start being a successful musician like me. What's that? I can't hear you over the sound of established music superstars. If producers can't hear your groundbreaking music, look down. Look up. Where are you at? Your very first album release party. This album is your very first LP. Look again. The album has now become a record deal with your name on it. Anything is possible when you use direct music connection. Jump into success and stardom. All you gotta do is just personalize your own account on direct music connection and upload your own music, and we'll do the rest of the work. I'm sensitive. So the previous pitch we just had in front of this is just to explain why you should use our service, and we're going to tell you how we get it done. So to start off, we are direct music connection. I'm Wesley Tom.
I'm Patrick Caravello.
I'm Ryan Robinson.
So our startup just consists of us at the beginning. We have different skills and technical skills like programming, so website design. We all have a background in music, and right now we're just having each of us do a separate individual part. Like I'll be going out, trying to connect with record companies and get them to support us and back us up.
And then I'll be updating and managing the website, so just keeping it running, adding features, or whatever needs to actually end up with the internet-based part of our company.
And I'll be meeting with the artists who are trying to make their way on the site and get recognized.
So for right now, it's just us three. We cover most of the bases. If we have some things that become unmanageable for us, just us three, we can search out for other people that have flexible skills that can help us out all over this place, because we don't have too much of a budget to cover all our salaries.
All right, I'm going to talk about the technology of our website. It's going to be a service-based website, and what these amateur musicians can do is come onto our site, create a profile. They can personalize it in any way they want, put up pictures, put links to their videos. They're also going to be able to upload their own music. And when they upload this music, they get to select one sample of one of their songs to be put into our voting system. And our voting system will have an advanced rating system that uses a chess algorithm to match you up with like an opponent, and one of them will win and one of them will lose, and you will go up and down in the rankings based on that. We're also going to have an award system for top 10 artists of the week, top 10 songs of the week, of the month, and of the year, and all that kind of stuff. We're also going to have a constructive feedback system, so it lets other artists give you constructive feedback, so you know if they catch something that you don't, and can give you some criticism and something that will really help you, then that'll be a great deal of help. And we're going to have Ryan talk about the competitors.
All right, so our main competitors are pretty much MySpace and Pure Volume. MySpace has a bunch of cluttered ads and everything's all over the place. It's not very organized, not very clean. And they also have no real ranking system. Basically, everything's kind of based on views, along with Pure Volume. Everything is kind of based on views. Views are very arbitrary. There's nothing special about views. I could look at a song, listen to a song, not really like it, but I've already viewed it. So it's already saying, that I've contributed to the song is something that I would approve of, but I haven't really necessarily gotten to say whether or not I actually wanted that song to do well. It could have been the worst song ever, but I've already viewed it. Another problem with the viewing system is that it's easily taken advantage of. The fact that I could have a certain band that I want to promote, I could just keep viewing it on different computers, or I could manipulate it with IP addressing, using proxies and everything. So if I figure out however they were telling whether or not you were a different view compared to everybody else, all I can do is figure out a way to manipulate it. It's very manipulatable compared to our rating system, where you're matched up against random people of the genre that you pick you want to vote for, and then you can't actually physically go pick the band that you want to vote for all the time. So it forces you to listen to two people from that genre that you picked, and then vote on which one you think is better. So that's why it's a little bit more balanced as far as that goes. And then The other problem with the viewing system is that anybody who is a top viewed artist, if you come to the website, typically you're going to come to a website, look for who's the top, and that's the people you're going to want to watch. Because you're going to assume, oh, these people are probably good, so I want to see them also. The problem with that is you're just stacking the person's views that's already on top. So they're going to continue to stay on the top. And the people at the bottom that may have a really good sound, good songs, everything and whatnot, they may never get discovered because they still have their local fans, and that might be it. But the fact that they're at the bottom, unless you're looking around for something new to listen to, you'll probably never see them. A lot of people won't really see them. So it's just going to stack views for people at the top. That's one of the biggest issues with it. The other thing is that we're going to need the record companies to support us. Because an important feature of our website would be to allow the artists to actually get signed. That's the whole point, is for artists to come to our website that are new artists, don't have a record label or anything, and then for someone to come sign them. So if we are able to get a record labels to cooperate with us, probably start small and then gain larger record labels as they begin to trust us and see how our website works really well, then it would allow them to sign the artists that rank high on our website, and we've already done all the sorting for them so they don't have to really listen to a bunch of songs and try to figure out who is a good band to promote and sign for their record labels. The other thing is that we're going to have to be in alliance with advertising companies. So we're going to have to find good advertisers for our website, so that way we can make most of our money. Because we don't really want to charge a membership fee, because with our site being new and everything, we don't really have trust or anything like that. So if we could start off our website just first gaining members, showing people that it worked, eventually advertisers would also come into the picture, and they'd be willing to pay to be on our website just because it would be so popular. So advertisers are a big alliance for us because of the fact that they're our main revenue, and without advertisers we wouldn't have any funding to keep going to adding research and development to add onto our site, or even just profit for us to even make this all worth it. And then also the artists would have to understand that we are just now starting up, so they're obviously putting themselves on a new site, but as it grows, they'll soon will gain more and more artists, and the whole point is just to keep growing. So next, I'll have Wesley start talking to you about the financials and everything.
So as far as maintaining the site goes, our cost should be relatively cheap. We do need the initial investments we need to have. We need to invest in a domain that we can keep stable. We need to invest in servers so that when users can upload their media, upload their music, their videos, that we can have them in a secure location. We'll try to keep downtime to a minimum. And so we need to have people maintaining that, and they'll probably call upon us first. We need more help to hire other people to maintain it. Other things that minor things that we might need are software licenses in terms of designing the website or programming different features into it, and also development of new features that we hear from user feedback. Like if they need something else, or we hear of new technology that we might be able to use to integrate into our interface. That's time intensive and money intensive, so that will be most of our costs. In terms of revenue, we're sustaining our website by using the advertising companies. We want to search for good ones that give us good rates, good returns on how many people click on advertisements or view the advertisements on the site. And also it's important that the advertising companies aren't clunky, they aren't all over the site, because we want to keep it very simple. We don't want the user to be distracted by all these advertisements. And also another thing is the contractual agreements we might have with the record companies, because if we're bringing in new artists, introducing new artists, we just need a share of the contract. But we have a few problems along the way, some things that we can foresee, unforeseen ones we'll deal as we get to it. But our main problem is that since we're new, we're a novel idea, we're innovative, that people have not heard of this idea, and therefore we have no recognition, and we need to aggressively advertise our services on, say, social media websites such as Facebook, so that people will come over to our websites to start using it. We can't really be successful if people don't come to visit our website. Another main issue, which is important in creating relationships, is getting various record label companies to support and back us, because we need different companies that support different types of musicians, say like pop music or rock music or classical music, any of those. We need to have a good connection with them, and we need them to trust us, and so we can have sustained relationships with them. So a couple other things is perhaps some legal problems that we might have in terms of like when some of our artists do become popular, and they need to say like this is their own idea. There'd be some things we might have to look into in terms of ownership. And some minor issues with crashing of servers. I mean, that can be technically fixed, and in the long run, that's not a big issue. So, the full summary, what we want you to remember us by is that we're an internet-based business, and we want to connect amateur musicians to record companies because we think that's really important in the music business, just get good musicians out there. We distinguish ourselves by possible other competitors by having a clean website, having a great feature through our ranking system to distinguish us, distinguish different artists from each other. And as long as we can deal through all the problems that I mentioned previously, we'll be pretty successful. So as long as Edson can give us a boost in starting our business, I think we'll be set. So that's about it from Direct Music Connection. See you guys soon.